Okay, so let's keep going. And now we're gonna start setting up our emails, right? So ClickFunnels, if you choose the 297, will have Actionetics that will help you manage the emails and also send emails to any of your customers. So in order to start setting that up, you have to come over here, come to SMTP settings. That's basically the settings to set up emails, and you click over here. Now again, if you have Actionetics, we're gonna go to that setup right now. If you don't have Actionetics, you will skip this video and go to the next one where I will give you a different option on how to also set up emails. So at least for Actionetics, we click over here to get started. And over here, we have to call the integration name. So let's call it, for example, the ClickFunnels for beginners Actionetics. And I'm sending it from myself. And then from email will be for beginners.com. Domain, that's the domain that we've already created, right? We have it there. And we have to add our address. So I'm just gonna add this PO box. That's my business address. We have it set it up everything, and that's in the US. Now over here in the footer, you can add additional things as it describes over here, which will include a physical address in the emails, which are required by the spam compliance. So right now I'm just gonna leave it empty. You can later on fill it out. I'm gonna leave in this program over there a link to basically just copy paste on what you can put over here in the footer. It's very basic. It's just basically saying, hey, in order to comply with the CAN spam here in the US, you have to identify each email with basically the name of the company or the sender, the physical address, and basically they have to have an unsubscribe button. All of that, we're gonna have it over here. So I will put it over there so it will be easier for you to just copy and paste it. And then I'm just gonna put it over here. This is gonna be my default SMTP integration. I don't plan to have any other ones. But if you plan to have other ones, just click it, not the default. So I'm not gonna click it the default because I want to show you later on what happens if you have multiple ones. How can you set those up? So I will click here, save SMTP integration, and basically they're finishing it up. And we're just gonna have to wait over there for a few seconds, and there you go. Now, remember that we were doing some changes with the DNS when we were doing the domains? Well, in this case, you're gonna have to do something very similar. We're gonna have to change our DNS because everything is going to our domain, right? So we want to make sure everything is on sync. So my domain, if you are hosting that directly on GoDaddy and you don't have any other hosting systems or emails or anything, you can just go to GoDaddy and change the domain as I show it to you in the previous video. If you're hosting it, I'm gonna show you right now on cPanel how to do all these things because I'm using cPanel. So remember, I came over here to my DNS zone editor where I added this domain. So what I'm gonna do, so let me actually make this one smaller over here and bring this one smaller over there too. Let's put it right over there so it will be easier for me to kind of go from one place to another. Okay, so this is gonna take a while. So the first one, it says txt. So when we add a record, remember before we had in the record CNAME, now we have to find something called txt record. Add a txt record, the zone name, and it tells you over here will be this one. So I'm just copying it, pasting it. Now, if you're doing it in GoDaddy, you don't have to put your domain here at the end. So in GoDaddy, if you're copying and pasting it, just copy and paste the first part before the dot. GoDaddy will add the rest. Now in cPanel, I have to add everything. And then over here, I just copy this entire thing and put it over here on the record and just add the record. Then the next one is the CNAME. So I come over here again, I come to CNAME, and the same thing, I copy it over here and paste it. If you're in GoDaddy, it will be just this first section. And then I'll copy and paste this one over here, add record. Now let's see what else. Link whitelist wants these ones over here, so I'm gonna copy the same thing. That's a CNAME over here and paste it to there, add record, and then the last one will be another CNAME with this one and this other one over here, add record. Perfect. So now that will be everything. Now because of my domain, sometimes, as we saw it before, it may take 30 minutes. Let's see, I can just click here to validate. It could be that it's faster, it could be that it's not faster. If it's not there yet, I think it will let me know. Well, it's not letting me know anything there yet. So we're gonna have to wait over here for a few minutes, but basically that's where you validate all these things. Then you can come over here, outgoing, and if it's not validated yet, you will see this one that says continue setup. You click it there until you click over here to validate, and it validates positive. Right now, as we know, at least from my domain, usually my hosting takes about 30 minutes to propagate everything. GoDaddy usually takes about 5 minutes, so it's faster. But that's everything that you need to do it. Once you click here to validate and everything works, that's everything that you need, and now your email is already set up and ready to go. Now, if you don't use Actionetics, let's go to the next video where I will explain how to use an alternative. Or even though if you have Actionetics and you want to use an alternative, I will let you know how. So we'll check it in the next video.